Learn to create an action game in Unreal Engine 5 at unfgames.com. Have you wanted to learn Sequencer in Unreal Engine but found it too overwhelming or confusing? Then this tutorial is for you. We will learn the basic interface inside Sequencer, we will use different effects like time dilation, and overall all of the basic tools that you need to use in order to release a small cinematic inside of Unreal Engine 5. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell for future videos. I'll be seeing you. Hey, welcome! So what is Sequencer? Sequencer is Unreal Engine's multi-track editor, used for creating and previewing cinematic sequences in real time. Or in more simple words, you're gonna use it to create your sequences, your boss intros, your special attack cinematics, and things alike. Right? So to start, I have already a hero. She's Aurora, free asset from the marketplace, and I have placed her on the map. Right? So what we want to do is Control and spacebar to open the content drawer, create your own folder. I named mine Sequencer. Just right click, animation, and we want to do a level sequence. A level sequence is the container of your cinematic scenes, right? So just left click and let's name it attack intro, underscore sequence. And let's enter. So in here we have the UI, and it has a lot of tools that we won't be going over all of them because some are not necessary to make a good sequence. Of course, that you can specialize later on and just learn everything and make excellent scenes, yeah, for sure. But we'll just touch what is necessary to make a nice sequence for your game, right? Okay, so first, if we click here on play, nothing is happening because, of course, we haven't attached, or we're not tracking any actor, we're not tracking anything. Okay, so just click on here to front to snap it on 0. And let's go on track, actor to sequencer, and we want Aurora. And if your hero is not showing here, it's because it's not set up on the map. You just need to put it on the map, right? Okay, now we are tracking Aurora. And you see here the skeletal mesh icon. So we have animation, we can add animations, and we can add a transformation for our skeletal mesh. And how does this work? So this works with keys, right? So at 0, if we click here on transform and we press enter, we are setting keys here. And what does this mean? This means that at time 0, these keys are storing the information of our actor. So if we just move on the timeline, let's say 30, it doesn't matter, and we just move her like this, and we press enter again to create keys, this means that these keys have saved the information of her location now, and now it's gonna make a transition between them, right? Let's just press here on to front to go to the start and press play. And you can see her moving. So these little controls here is just play, reverse. This can take you to the start, this can take you to the end. And for now, that's what you need to know. Later we will touch onto the rest. But you can see that setting the keys can help your character move, right? If you select them all and move them, yeah, you can make her reach the point faster, or you can just make it slower, right? So a couple more controls before we go to animations. If we hold Control here on the timeline, if you hold Control and go and scroll down with our mouse wheel, we can make it smaller, we can make it bigger. If you press spacebar, we can play the animation, right? So let's erase all of this. Okay, and let's add some animation to our hero. So here on animation, left click, I'm gonna select ability E. My animation already has a trail, so don't be scared. I just like it. Okay, so we already know how to move the hero. Okay, we already put some animation. You can just left click and hold it and just drag the whole chunk. And of course, if it starts later, you will see it spawning later. Maybe you want to put 2 animations, and you can of course put more, but we're fine for this. So right click, you can check the properties. In here, for example, we can adjust the play rate. We can just say it's 0.3 this time, and now you can see it's gonna be way slower. Okay, and the whole block is way bigger. So remember that you can control and with the mouse wheel move it to zoom out. All right. If you want to reset the view, you can press home. Or maybe if you want to snap, you can click on equal or minus, and you can adjust one frame by frame, right? Okay, fine. I'll just do home for now. And let's just put it back to how it was. Fine. Now we have the animation, we have checked how it can move or rotate or scale, but what about the camera now? So what we need to do is here, click on this icon, create a new camera and set its current camera cut. Just click on it. And 3 things are gonna happen. So first, camera cuts has been created, and we will check it later, but basically in here is gonna be the sequence for your final render. Okay, we will check it later when we are ready to export. You have created a new camera actor, which is the camera that we are now controlling. As you can see, we are piloting it. We can eject it, whatever. And I just want this camera to be renamed. So F2, say camera 01. It's just so it is more ordered, right? You can click on this little camera icon to unpossess the camera. You can see it here. If you want to possess it again, click on it. And wherever you move it, it's where it's gonna stay, right? Okay. So let's just put our first camera angle. What if she's, let's see, make sure that you click on transform, because we are looking to set the distance for our camera, right? If you, for example, have this camera selected and you, let's say, okay, let's move it around here and press enter, you're gonna be marking everything, the aperture, the focal length, you're marking everything, as you can see here. And you do not want this, right? Because you want to configure each one individually. So just delete that, click on transform, and then you can click on whatever camera angle you want. Maybe this one is good. Maybe, or let me set it up a little bit more. Maybe like this. Maybe a little bit more like that. A little bit higher, maybe. Yeah, okay, and enough wasting your time. Maybe this is fine. No, it's not fine. Okay, I'm enjoying this one. So click here to click enter or press enter to add your keys on the transform, and there you have it. So that means that on this position, or well, at this time, this camera is on this position. If we move it around here, and let's say we press enter, we're creating new keys. Let's snap to the back and press play. You can see, okay, now it's turning nice, but you see it blurry. And of course, then you see that the actor is going on T-pose. And what is happening there? Well, the actor is going on T-pose because the animation is over. And her default stance is no animation, she just goes on T-pose, right? She has nothing. So what do we do there? Let's just drag this end, this red line here means this is the end of the sequence. So if we leave it there, it stops, right? Okay, that's good. But still, the camera is looking very blurry. It's like it's not focusing the hero at all. And there are a couple of things that we could do. But what we're gonna do for this one is just go here on the focus distance of our camera. let's just revert it to 0. And here on the right side, on the details, well, we want the focus settings to be tracking. And what do we want to track? We want to track Aurora. Okay, that should be it. Settings here, Aurora, it's tracking. Yep, this should be fine. So let's test it again. Okay, so no more blurriness. And if you want to test the limit of our focus, it's this one, of course. If you also want to do it manual, you can just say here manual, and you can do it on your own, right? You can just go back. You can also select the hero, okay? And of course, if you do it manual, you can set different keys, right? But for our case, we just want tracking and we want Aurora. Perfect. Just disable the debug now. All right, let's press play once again. Okay, it's looking nice. Now we want to give the camera a little bit more movement. And of course, keep in mind that every setting that we can modify here on the right side, if it has a key, you can keyframe it on your timeline, right? Okay, so anyways, I don't want this, I think. So at start, it's on 0. Maybe at 0.7, it could be around here. Being careful not to cut everything, not to put it like this, just everything on picture. Oh, sorry. So transform, there we go. And maybe once she's done with the attack, like at 30, could be, we can just go behind her, like this. I keep doing this, come on. Okay, enter. How does that look? Okay. It's a little bit way too fast, for sure. But the camera is working. It's going around, nice. Maybe it could zoom out a little bit more. We can check that after. But for now, okay, it's way too fast. Let's solve that. Here on track, we click it and we can add a time dilation track. And we can say that, okay, when it starts, I want this to be at 0.1. I want this to be really, really slow. So just press on enter and create a key. Okay, now it's more readable, right? Now it's not so fast. Maybe you want it fast, right? I don't know. But for this occasion, this, I think, going slower so we can watch the details works pretty nice. Okay, I think that the camera is a little bit too slow to turn here, or maybe I like this take, but this one, I do not enjoy it so much. You see how much it's being cut here? So we now transform, and here I just wanna move back a little bit, like that. And we press enter. Let's see how that looks. Okay, that's looking way better. And what I wanted to do with this, I don't want this to be slow all of the time, right? You know that, of course, with the keyframes, you can just adjust different speeds, but I wanted to add some effects to this sequence. So maybe we can have an effect when she is preparing the attack. Maybe we can have a blast, and the idea is that maybe it slows, the time slows down when she's doing that blast, when she's attacking, right? So let's do that. I already have selected some of them, well, two. I want this initial blast and I want the ultimate explode. You can pick any that you want. Maybe you have your own custom ones. So just drag it here on the map. Remember that if it's not on the map, you cannot track it. So I want this to be right underneath her. Maybe like that. And I want to go on track, actor to sequencer, and I want to, yes, this one, ultimate initial blast. Okay, so we want two things from this. First, we do not want it, we just want this to be unspawnable. We just want it to spawn and get done with it, because we do not want to control it through time. So right click, convert to spawnable. And in here you can see a green light. So it is always spawned, right? Just uncheck it. Now you see it red. So at time 0, I want it to be not spawned. So I just want to click enter. Remember that if you are not clicking on spawned, it's not gonna be able to create anything, right? Okay, so maybe at point 3, I want this to appear. And let me zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, maybe at point 3 is fine. So at point 3, I just want to click on the check, and there we go. But if we press play, nothing is happening. We see it spawning here because if you notice, by the on the time that it's not spawned, it's on gray. But once we go through it, it's now alive, right? But we are not telling it to toggle. So here, FX system toggle track, and here we have activate. So just click and enter. Oh, sorry. We wanted to activate here, so just enter. So let's see. Yep, that's very nice. Okay, we do not really mind about the length of this. It's fine. So let's check it again. We can play around with the slow-mo nicely on that effect. But let's add the second one now. Okay, so for the second one, oh, sorry, put it on the start, content drawer. We want this ultimate explode. And this explosion, maybe we want this, I want to eject so I can look at things better. She attacks there, and you can see that if we move the timeline around, it's snapping, right? And we cannot see her on the sword in the middle, do we? That is because snap is turned on. So just click it. All right. Okay, there we go. I wanted to spawn maybe around here. So just move it like this, a little bit more maybe, like that. Maybe that place is good. Yep, that should be fine actually. Okay, so now we want to add it to our map and turn on snapping again. So track, actor, and let's track, where is it? Actually, I cannot see it for some reason. I wonder why. So this is the Aurora Ultimate Explode track. Oh, it's here. Okay, they have similar names, so I get confused. Okay, explode. Okay, so now same thing. First, right click, spawnable. And when does this spawn? So first uncheck it. This spawns. Oh, we need this snap again, right? Okay, no snap. It probably spawns here. Probably it spawns here. Okay, snap back and click on spawn. Oh, I didn't create the key, my bad. So at the start, enter, create the key. Okay, now we advance to 11, I think it was. Yeah, like that. There we go, like that. And click on spawn. There we go. Snap back on, and we want FX toggle. And it should be activated here. Okay, let's see how it looks now. Right, and then she attacks. Okay, that looks very good. And let's see. Oh, my computer slowed down for a little bit. There we go. Okay, turn on. It needs to be a little bit further forward. So on transform, we want to move this And let's see. So yeah, it should not be there. It's way too close. Way too close. So where is the where is it? Well, we should do it over here actually. It's not here because it hasn't spawned yet. There we go. It's the explode. Let's put it around here actually. That is way better actually. Let's press play. Okay, I like that. We can erase this one. If you cannot erase it, you need to click on the very edge. Let me look at it one more time to see if it makes sense. The effect needs to be a little bit more. Both need to be a little bit more on the right. Oh, sorry, on the left. And the other one on the right. Okay. So we open it, this one up. This one needs to be more here on the left. We press enter and let's see if it works. Okay, that's way better. And the other one needs to be more on the right. So this, like that, enter. That should be fine. Let's see. A little bit more. That's not enough. So click on it. Like that. That seems good. Let's try. No, it's not saving. So if it's not saving, I'm gonna turn off the snap. I press here enter. And I want to erase the previous one. There we go. Let's see. Did I erase the one that was right? That feels like it's the case. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out. Okay, let's try then. Erase this one. And this one needs to be way here, please. Press enter. So load it and then release. Okay, it's not listening to me at all. So maybe it is a small bug or maybe I'm not doing it right. At any case, I just erased it and I'm just gonna revert this. Let's put our effect back on this place. So I want this to be way more on the right. And way more around here, probably. Okay. Maybe that's fine. So now let's do it again. Let's track the explosion. And let's make it spawnable. Okay. At frame 0, it enter, it's not spawn. And at 11, I think it was. Maybe around there. It should spawn. Now, let's put a FX toggle and activate it there. Let's see. Yeah, I enjoy that. Maybe it's a little bit too far. Hopefully we don't bug again, or hopefully we do it fine this time. No, actually it's perfect. It's perfect. Okay, let's save just in case. Let's adjust the camera a little bit now. So we possess it and let's see how it looks. That looks nice. And we cannot see the effect. Okay, so we need to adjust the camera for sure. Let's go on transform, and if we, for example, okay, go back to the start. If we click on this icon, we jump to the next key of our selected module, of course. So this key is not well placed because we cannot see the effect at all. So let's just move it back a little bit, maybe like that, and press enter. Let's see how that looks. It needs to be sooner. It's turning too late. So let's go to the third key. Maybe over here, we should be moving like that. Let's see. Yeah, that's looking nice. Okay, so what I want to do is add some kind of slow-mo and speed up after every VFX. Let's work on that. I'm just gonna minimize all of these things and let's focus on the dilation. So, okay, it starts at this speed. I want it to start a little bit faster. Click on snap back on. Okay, so what if it starts at 0.3? And once she crouches and the attack appears, you can make it go slow. So what if we here go for what? Something extreme, 0.5. Oh, sorry, 0.05. Okay, so we have an issue here. We are starting on 0.3. And then we have another key, which is 0.5, which is way slower, right? But now, as soon as it starts, it's transitioning from 0.3 to 0.5, as you can see. So we need to add more keys to set the time straight. As you can see, the closer we reach our key here, the lower the speed goes, right? So we want to say that it's still 0.3 at here. Let's see. Now it doesn't slow down. Now it does it suddenly, right? Right before this kill. I want this to be on slow-mo right before that distortion. So this is way too early. Let's hold them both and drag them a little bit. Maybe like that is fine. That is actually perfect. So again, and put snap back on. And then this slows back again. So we want this to be, okay, never mind. Let's not snap anything. So around here, we still want this to be 0.5. And then we want it to go back to 0.3. So how does that look? Right, and then for the explosion, we also want that slow-mo, right? So around here, before it spawns, it needs to go slow. So again, our 0.3 goes until here. And then once it starts, it can go to 0.05. Let's test it. Hopefully it isn't annoying. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. This is looking nice. I think that we just need to play with the cameras a little bit more now. All right. Maybe we can zoom out a little bit more at the end. Or zoom in. That is cool. I wanna scroll down. The animation is being too long, so I do not want her to stand up. Maybe this animation ends around here. Maybe. We shall see. Another thing that you may find useful is that in here, you can just set the playback speed. This is not going to affect your end result. It's just for previewing. Okay. That is looking fine. Maybe, maybe the camera needs to be a little bit more interesting. And I'm thinking, let's add 2 cameras. Maybe that's better. So, okay, it's like this. And once she explodes this, what if this tree, I'm sorry, what if this tree, what if we just go around here? Like that. Okay, it's cutting her legs, but let's see. So she slides that, and then, well, that's just way too slow. Okay, one more. No, that's just way too slow. So we should stop this this slow-mo around here. So this is 0.3. Wanna test again? Okay, slow. She attacks. That's way better. That looks very nice. And I think that, yeah, let's make her stand up at the end. So, but the camera also needs to focus away. Something like that. Let's try it anyway. Okay, let's just go back. I like this a lot, but we could say that, yeah, this is looking nice and maybe we just want to keep this. But what if we add another camera to our mix? So if we right now want to export this, we could just click here on render. And there are a couple of things that we need to modify. For example, okay, we can modify the output, the type of encoding, custom frames, sure, the resolution, okay. We can just burn in to have additional data on our video if you want, just check it. And let me check. If we press on advanced here, that's it. So by general, you want to use compression, right? Otherwise your video is gonna be way too heavy. The less compression it has, the worse the quality of the video, right? So you often just want to put it on 75 or 100%, or maybe if it's something that you need with 100% quality, just disable the compression, but that's a really huge file size. You just need to keep that in mind. In here you can put the output, how it's going to be named. The rest, it's not that important, at least for the basic stuff. But we're not going to be doing this right now. So this camera cut that we created earlier and that we didn't talk about is your final output. This is the sequence of cameras that you want to use. So imagine that you don't have only this camera one, maybe you have 2 cameras, right? And maybe I explain the camera cuts once we have another camera here. So let's create another camera. Let's click in add a new camera. Let's of course rename it camera 02. Oh, not 02. And what we want to do with this camera is maybe like add a little zoom in, something a little bit more interesting to our hero. So what if, okay, we take this transform, enter, and what about at point, maybe at 0.3, this could be fine. So exactly when this attack is, well, exactly when the VFX is spawning, we want to make an interesting camera. So what about something that captures her whole pose, something like this. I think it's fine if we cut the feet here. Just wanna show the back properly and the sword in full. Maybe this is good, or maybe a little bit higher. Yeah, maybe like this. Maybe like that. So that's another keyframe. And for the last one, perhaps we could just go on her back. So, but maybe like this. I think I like this. So why are we cutting the feet now here? I think we can make a really interesting take if it's even a short take. But we need to fix the distance again because it's so blurry, right? So again, go on tracking and track Aurora. And she's looking awesome as always. Let's click on play and see how that looks. We do not want to see the third skill. We just want a little bit of zoom on the first one. This looks really nice, but maybe a little bit lower because we're cutting a lot of the effect here. So it happens here. Yep. Maybe a little bit lower. We are missing too much of the effect. Like that. Maybe like this could be. So like that. Oh, sorry. On transform, enter. Let's enter that. How is it looking? It's still not convincing to me. Again, the second effect doesn't matter, but the first one, we need to find a better pose for her. No. Is that too dull? Yep, a little bit too dull. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, so just quite simply, a little bit more on a front plane, if you could call it that way. Let's press enter. I feel like it's turning too fast. So let's maybe move it a little bit like that. I like that more. Okay. So what are we doing with this take? What we want to do with this is just add it on this camera cut. So now I can explain this a little bit better. I'm gonna eject now. Right now on the camera cut, this is like your main film movie, if you could call it that way. So you see that it says camera 01, which is this one, right? It's this whole animation. The first one that we did, obviously it's camera 1. Yeah. So when we press render, it's only gonna render what's inside the end and the start, right? This green and the red one. So if we only have the camera 1, it's gonna render the camera 1. We can just erase this, sure. Inside camera cuts, new binding. Oh, sorry, no. Just here, just on existing binding, just pick one. Camera 1 or 2, let's say 1. And now you see how it's feeling, right? But it starts where our little cross is starting, so we can just expand it. Okay, maybe we don't want this. We delete it. We want it 2. Okay. Now whenever we render, it's gonna be rendering the camera 2, not the camera 1. So we can make a mix of both of those in this whole section. So I'm gonna delete once again. I'm gonna be tracking the camera 1, and I wanna shrink this. I'm gonna shrink it until the first slow-mo happens. So let's see. Oh, and I wanna preview it. Nope. So it's Until around here, I think it's fine, but then we need to exactly start the next one. So camera 2. Now we have the whole camera 2 playing. And we want this to be, sorry, it's a little bit slower again. It happens sometimes. So now we want this to be way smaller. Just enough, you know, maybe like this. We need to check. So, oh, sorry, Control C. We put it after camera 2. There we go. And let's now preview in here the whole thing that we've done. So play. Now you can kind of see what I tried to do with this, right? It's like a small focus on that, and then it goes away. Oh, it's never going away. I messed up and put camera 2 twice. So delete. And at the end of this one, we want camera 1. Okay, now it should be, let's see. So you can kind of see what I want to go with this. It's not looking good right now. It needs some modifications. This little animation back and forth, it's not good. So probably we just move it like this. Zoom in a little bit more. Okay, again. Yeah, that is looking way smoother. But still, we can do some more stuff to this. So the transitions are a little bit too rough. It's just two, well, 3 images or 3 videos on top of each other, right? So we can do plenty of tricks to fix it, but one really simple one is just this, where is it? Fade track. So at start, we want it on 0. 0 is full color, right? And as we start putting it on 1, it fades to black, right? Obviously, we don't want it to fade to black. We just want it to fade to, let's say, 0.7 to make it slightly darker. But if we do it like this, it's just permanently dark, right? Remember that we need some kind of control point. So if this is 0, before this change happens, we should be having a 0 too. So it then suddenly fades to black, right? And of course that we do not want it to stay black forever, right? Just for a little bit of time. So in here we create another one that is 0. And you can see this small gradient here. So let's play it and see how it looks. That's too much. That's way too much. So we can just say not 0.7, but what? 0.5? Now you can see how the transition is way softer to the eye. And we can just, we could copy just the keys, but just for the sake of doing it properly. Same, in here, it's gonna be a control cut, which is 0. Then right here should be, what, 0.5, okay. 0.5. And then we go back to normal with 0. So how it is looking? Yep, that's perfect. So let's play it and see how it's turning out. Yep, this is looking pretty fun. So the last step will be to just export it, and I think that I want to cut this a little bit more. That end is a little bit unnecessary. Of course, it has some kind of aftermath that's looking nice, but that's enough. Oh, okay, it doesn't look good that she's just standing and it suddenly And I guess that we just need to leave it like that. So anyways, the last part again will be just to render it. So again, click on render movie. Make sure that your timeline is fixed in between these two start and end. So just drag it here. Fine. Go on render. You can select your custom FPS, your resolution. And there are a couple of things that are important too. Like for example, where is this? So inside of general, nope. Inside of here. Okay, we already talked about burn-in, sure. But also there is a, there we go, a delay warm-up. Maybe you have a couple of effects that need to warm up before the shot is being taken. You know, you could use this in many ways. You just select it, okay, maybe 2 seconds warm up, and then everything loads, right? So that's it, guys. Just capture movie and it loads for as much as it needs. Maybe you set up way too much resolution, or maybe your videos are just way too long and it's gonna take a while. But that's it, guys. I hope that you learned a lot, and that, well, as you see, just with a few tools, you can make some fun sequences. You don't need to learn just every single thing that there is here. You can just go little by little, because there are plenty of tools that are very, some are annoying, some are complex. Just with a few of them, you can do a lot of things, you know? So again, I hope that you learned, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.